Well, it's another beautiful day up here at our Northwoods camp. And we're up here for New Year's. Also, we're going to celebrate a little bit of a late Christmas with some family. But it's a beautiful day. Most of the snow is melted. And yeah, it's just so nice and quiet up here. And that's one thing that we're going to address today is the quiet, which is always interrupted by our generator.
We'll let it warm up a couple minutes before we turn the breaker on, but you can hear how loud that
is. We don't have power at our camp other than our generator, and we don't have the possibility of getting power here. It's probably 3/4 of a mile down the road, and it would be super expensive to get it here. So we have to run our generator all the time, which is okay, except for the generator's loud. It's a Honda 5000 SX or something like that. But it's pretty noisy, and when, it's always so quiet here, who wants to listen to that generator? So in the last couple of videos, I've talked about how we're going to get a lithium-ion battery with an inverter and a charger, and we're going to set that up. And today is the day we're going to do that. Now, I'm not an expert on these by any means, but we're going to do it the best we can. I don't know if I'll get it all installed today, but we're going to go a long ways towards having our camp, our off-grid camp, so we don't have to run our generator all the time. Now what we have is a 48 volt 100 amp hour lithium ion battery. We got a EG4 3000 watt inverter with a EG4 CHARGEVERTER, because we're not going to have, at least for the time being, we're not going to have solar panels. So the charger inverter can use utility power or solar power to charge the batteries. But we're going to use our generator with the CHARGEVERTER to charge those batteries for now. It's just the easiest way to do it for us right now, until we figure out the whole solar panel thing and where we're going to put them. I kind of don't like solar panels. I think they're kind of ugly, but kind of a necessity. So we just have to figure out where we're going to put the solar panels when we get solar panels. But that's down the road. Right now we're just going to get everything mounted in the camp. We're going to get the battery mounted, we're going to get the inverter mounted and the charger, and we're going to start wiring. Now, like I said before, I probably have everything I need to get this hooked up and working today, but I don't know. And again, this isn't a how-to video. This is more just what I'm going to do here in our situation. So, take that for what it is. So come along. We're going to get this done. This should be good. Should be great. So we've talked about where we're going to put this system. Well, it was either going to be in the generator house, out where it's very hard to heat, or it was going to be inside. And in the end, we decided, hey, it just is more practical to put it inside because we can heat this space. And these lithium batteries in this system needs to be above freezing to be able to work properly. So it just made more sense to put it inside. But what does that mean? That means I have to run a dedicated 240 volt line from the generator house into the camp. Right now we just have 120 volts coming in to our panel box, which is in this room, which is another reason that this makes more sense. Our panel box is right here. We can tie right into it. So it was just a no-brainer to put it in here. But I do have to run that 240 volt dedicated line into the camp so we can use the CHARGEVERTER to its full potential. So the first thing we're going to do is mount this 1/2-inch hardy board to the wall, because these components do put off a little bit of heat, and they suggest you mount them to a cement board or hardy board. So because this battery weighs about 100 pounds, it's pretty heavy. And I want to hang it off this board. I want to keep it up off the floor. But for right now, I'm just going to have it sitting on a couple of 2x6s. That'll keep it 3 inches up off the floor, but I did make some brackets to mount this or hang this on this board. It is heavy. Come on, come on. Oh, that's heavy.
While he's doing that, I'm going to whip up a batch of cookies.
That's always good. Too much coffee. Well, that's not going anywhere. So everything is mounted, but the one thing that I'm missing is our manual transfer switch that we're going to put right here. Now that switch is going to allow us to run the generator if we have to, or switch over and run the inverter battery system.
Now for the Peachy Pie Supreme.
So the one thing I did forget was the DC breaker. I need to connect this on the positive line from the battery to the inverter. They sent me this little DIN rail, but I don't need that 6 inches. I just need like 1.5 inches or 2 inches, so we're gonna cut this. Try to get the burrs off.
There's always thick.
So we've got everything hooked up. I've checked, double checked, and triple checked. I've got the generator disconnected. I've got our battery connected to the inverter, the CHARGEVERTER connected to the battery. I've got our line out to our panel box. So we got the inverter, battery, CHARGEVERTER, original panel box. We're ready to go. So here we go. So we're going to turn on battery management. Okay, turn the battery on. We'll turn the inverter on. We're going to turn the breaker on for the bathroom. Look at that. There we go. It's working. All right, it is working. I had no doubt. Service light. There we go. Center wall outlets, and there's some outlets. So there we go. Look at that. Now the only thing I haven't done is turn the well pump on. We're going to see what happens when we turn it on. We should see that load jump up. Go run some water. Let's see if we can get that pump to pop on. There it goes. You can see the well pump kicked on. Lights popped a little bit. Let's see what it does. So you definitely see when the well came on, but it handled it perfectly. We had it jumped up to 52% load. Yeah, I think we're done. That's absolutely awesome. Hear that? Yeah, neither do I. The generator's not running. Yay! Cheers to no generator. That's what I say. Cheers to the generator not running. Yeah, man. It is a beautiful day. The sun is shining. It's probably 50 degrees. And tomorrow is the first of the year, so we're having some tremendous weather. So it is a good time to get some wood in before the weather changes. And it's going to change because they're calling for a winter storm. Now it never fails. Every time we come up here, it's either raining or there's a weather advisory. Now the weather advisories aren't what they used to be. Years ago, if you were expecting a winter storm, it was a proper winter storm. These days, if you're going to get 6 inches, there's a weather advisory. So, although in the last big blow we had up here, they were calling for 4 to 5 feet of snow. So we got out of here. And, it wasn't 4 to 5 feet, it was 2 feet, but 2 feet is a lot of snow. So this snowstorm, they're only calling for 6 to 8 inches or 6 inches. I bet you we'd get 3 or 4. So I'm not putting much stock in what they're calling for. All right, it's the next morning, and we only used about 50% of the battery from yesterday afternoon to this morning, which is pretty cool, I think. So I ended up just leaving the CHARGEVERTER settings to the default and changing my charging current to 30 amps. We're eventually going to run a 240 volt 30 amp circuit from the generator house into here, and we're going to run one leg of that into our manual transfer switch so we can run the generator, or we can run the battery inverter system. So when we run the 240 volt in here, we'll have the plug that we can plug our CHARGEVERTER into if we need to charge the batteries. It's been a great week. We got our battery, inverter, and charger installed, and we've been running basically all week on our battery. We've had to charge it twice, but as you can see, we got another blow coming in. But today we're heading home. I think we're going to be driving right into this storm. It should be a fun ride. See you later. Thanks for coming along.